being called the N-word is such the norm. It's honestly like, if someone didn't call you the N-word today, did you really go to work? Did you really take care of someone if they didn't call you the N-word? Hi guys, my name is Yesia Lemide and welcome back to Living Life with Your Favorite Nurse. So if you're new to my channel, we are all about health and wellness, lifestyle and beauty, and a little bit of nursing. So don't forget to subscribe and join the family. And to my returning subscribers, welcome back. So it is Black History Month, so I decided to talk a little bit more about some of my experiences dealing with racism as a nurse in nursing school and in my work life. If you haven't watched one of my other videos with some of my favorite nurses talking about what it's like dealing with racism, being a nurse, definitely I will put a card up there for you guys to click on and go watch after you've watched this video. So I feel like a lot of people don't think that Canada has racism. Unfortunately, that is not true. We have it everywhere. We have a lot of microaggression just roaming the streets, and as a nurse, I've dealt with it. As a Black nurse, I've dealt with it a lot. So I'll tell you guys the reason I started using my middle name, Temi, as my name when I started my nursing career. So basically, in school, when we would have clinicals and we'd have to go to the hospital and we'd have our own patients, I just found that so many people would decide to call me something that wasn't my name. I've had patients that literally said, do you have another name that I can call you instead? I can't pronounce that, or I can't remember that, or that's too hard. Can I call you Emma? Can I call you Sam? And it's like, no, you cannot. Those are not my names. It is so frustrating for someone to literally call you that Black nurse or the person that I cannot pronounce her name. Those are true examples of microaggression. And when they're doing it, they're smiling right at you. And some people truthfully might not understand how frustrating and how annoying it is and how rude it is to hear that, but it is. My name has a meaning to it. And for you to just decide to want to change my name, give me an entire person's name, and call me that name when I've asked you to not call me that name is honestly one of the most disrespectful things I've experienced. So when I started my nursing career, I did decide to use Temi because it's a name that people can pronounce and it's a name that people can remember. So I have met a lot of people that now call me Temi, and I love that name and I don't mind it, but it's not my first name. But that's something I had to do to adapt in this world, the world that people say racism doesn't exist. So also when I was doing my consolidation in nursing school and I was doing home care and we had to go from house to house, I did have someone that said, unfortunately, well, they didn't even say unfortunately, they said they wouldn't allow a Black person in their home. So because of that, it was winter, I had to stay in the car and sit there while my preceptor, helped this client. And while I had to sit in the car, I couldn't learn, I couldn't do anything because they said that they would not allow a Black person in their home. And mind you, after that, we just went to the next house and we moved on. There wasn't really any time to think about it or process what happened. I just had to take the racism that was given to me. I had to hear someone say because of the color of my skin, I could not enter their home and I was not welcome. So those things might sound so simple, might sound like normal, like not a big deal to some people, but honestly it hurts so much. And like, you have to be strong. Like, you don't have a choice. You can't let those things get you down because you still have to study, you still have to work, you still have to get everything done. No one, to be honest, really cares what someone said to you. They just expect you to perform and honestly not let it get to you, even though it does. So those are some of my experiences among many other ones that I dealt with in nursing school. Now into the real world. I thought nursing school was bad. I honestly knew nothing. Working was 100 times worse. I remember my first job, I had so many racist patients that weren't even scared to call you the N-word. They weren't even scared to call you a Negro. They would call you the N-word from the time that you said good morning to them to the time that you were leaving. It was honestly just in their vocabulary. So that was another situation that my manager was just like, you know, move on. You can't let that get to you. Move on. Like, of course I can actually let it get to me because someone is calling me out of my name. Someone is calling me something that is degrading to me. I am black and you can say I'm black, but you should not be using that in a negative connotation. You should not be saying another black nurse as if there is something wrong with another black nurse. Do you get my point? So I have had people try to slap me. I have had people try to spit on me, and these were not done because they were demented or they were deemed crazy. This happened because they were upset at the fact that they had a black nurse. And they thought if they slapped me or if they spat on me that I would be transferred or given to other patients. But no, I just had to stick it out. Yes, I would have loved to have had different patients, but when I think about it, you know, there's another nurse who has their patients, they've studied the meds, they know what they're gonna do with their patients, and then, you know, me begging to switch, that kind of ruins another person's day. That ruins another nurse's afternoon shift, whatever, because they have to change up their routine for you. So you know what I did? I stuck it out. Yes, I complained about it. Yes, it was frustrating, but I know I have a job to do. I know I have to give you your meds. I know I have to take care of you. And I know that the dirty and awful things that you either say or do to me, I just can't let get to me. So now working in long-term care, you do have a lot of people that do have dementia. You do have a lot of people that are demented. And for some reason, all they remember is that you are black and that they hate you. I don't know, again, if you've watched my other video, but we said that a lot of these people cannot remember their name, cannot remember where they went to school, what city they live in, but one thing they can remember is that you're black and that you're a Negro and that they hate you. That's just it. So I find it so interesting. Sometimes it honestly makes me want to study the brain at how all of this can happen, how hate can be carried through a disease that someone cannot even remember their last name, but they know that they don't like you. How strong is hate that can happen? And it makes me honestly even scared for my life that someone can really hate you that much that they can remember that they dislike you even when having a serious health condition. That says a lot. That honestly says a lot, and sometimes I still can't wrap my brain around it. And honestly, working in long-term care, being called the N-word is such the norm. It's honestly like, if someone didn't call you the N-word today, did you really go to work? Did you really take care of someone if they didn't call you the N-word? And the excuse is that, you know, they grew up in the 1920s or the 1930s, a long time ago, and that's when there was racism. Doesn't make it okay. Doesn't make it okay that they can still ridicule you, that they can still be rude to you, that they can still hurt you just because they grew up in that time and maybe they're still stuck in that time. Well, I'm not in that time now, so it does not mean I should receive that. Doesn't even mean people back then should have received it. Obviously not. But I just honestly wish it wasn't condoned as much as it is, and that we weren't told, like, you know, it's not their fault. I do understand that, and I do feel that some people hide on the fact that we say it's not their fault. Some of them do know what they're doing, and some of them don't. At the end of the day, it hurts. It hurts because it's not fair, it hurts because it's wrong, and it hurts because we're told that we need to get over it. It honestly makes me sad that the color of my skin will determine how you think I will treat you. I went to school, I passed my NCLEX, I got my license. I am just as skilled as any other person out there. And you know, I can flaunt myself and say that I can even be more talented or skilled as anyone else. But I don't say that. I just, you know, put myself on the same playing field as everyone else, as I should. But for you to say that I'm even lower than that, no. Absolutely not. But unfortunately in this world, being Black has deemed you incapable of being able to be a good nurse, of saving someone's life, and being able to do your job. It is sad, and honestly, I don't know what can happen in this world, but I honestly pray and hope for, the new nurses, the new Black nurses that are becoming nurses daily, that they won't suffer everything that I've gone through, everything that my friends have gone through, because honestly, it's painful. Sometimes it honestly makes you want to quit because you don't want to expose yourself to that. You don't want to feel all that pain anymore. Sometimes when I was working in long-term care, I'd actually just enter the shower, I'd be singing, doing my stuff, and then I remembered that someone the day before called me a dirty Negro. How does that make you feel? How would you feel knowing that your mother, your grandfather, your aunt called someone a dirty Negro? Would you tell them like, oh, don't mind them? How would you feel if someone did that to your daughter? And there's a lot of people that don't look at it that way, but they should. If someone did that to you, if someone did that to your family member that you cared about, sometimes I feel like some people think that Black people aren't people and that we don't have emotions. We're portrayed as people that are just angry all the time. And we have a reason to be angry. We have a reason to be frustrated. We have a reason to be hurt. So it makes me sad also that people think there isn't racism in Canada, because it's honestly at every corner. It might not be, I won't say as strong, but as seen as it is in America. But we have a lot of microaggression out here. We have a lot of people saying statements that are really racist, but they say it kind of undercover. They say it so that, if you don't really clue into it, you might not even notice or hear it, but it is there. So honestly, I wish we were all treated the same. I wish we were all treated with respect, because we all deserve it. I honestly hope that it gets better. One day it truly does get better. This won't even be a topic of conversation. I won't even have to make this type of video. No one will have to make this type of video, because it won't be something that we're experiencing. Alright, so those were some of my experiences being a Black nurse in nursing school and, working in this crazy life. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys learned something from this video. I really hope that everyone treats other people the way they want to be treated, and hopefully that's in a kind way. Thank you guys so much for joining today. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Happy Black History Month. See you guys next week, and keep living life from your favorite nurse.